Dr. K, naturopathic sports medicine doctor, today talking to you about the one-arm lat row or one-arm row or one-arm back row. So the main focus of this exercise is the lats, which is a large sweeping muscle that gives that kind of triangle tapered waist look to people. So for this exercise, we're going to go through, what's the breathing, what are some cues for you to remember, because I do often see shoulder injuries with this exercise and also lower back injuries with this exercise. So let's get started. So first I'm going to demo without the weight so you have an idea of what we're getting into here. So you will need a bench, and you want to set up so that your shoulder, elbow, wrist are stacked, and aim don't let that lock out, but do have a tiny bit of a flex in that elbow. You want your knee that's on the bench to be under the hip so that that's lined up. And then your foot that's your kind of like tripod leg to help support you, you have to determine how far out it is from the bench. So if I have it directly beside the bench versus out from the bench. And what determines that is the height of the pelvis. So throughout this whole exercise, you want to make sure that your back is a neutral spine. So that doesn't mean necessarily that your back is all in a straight line. It can be at an angle as mine is here, but you do want to make sure that it is a neutral spine, meaning that there's no curvature at the back or extension, for example. So for me to have my pelvis level so that I'm not tilted one way or the other way, if the bench was too high, for example, this gives me that neutral position. My pelvis is level across the top here, and then your arm that has the weight is hanging here. So the action that we're doing is we're bringing the elbow past the rib cage and behind the back, and if you're being really fancy and activating the muscle to its full potential, then you're doing a little bit of a bringing the elbow behind the back. So it's straight back and then a little bit of the elbow going behind you as you pull up. So the breathing for this is breathing in, out as you pull up, in, and out. Okay, so I'll just demo that with the weight. So you've got your weight, making sure back is neutral, elbow that is supporting you is slightly flexed, pelvic angle is flat across the top. I've got my weight here, breathing in and out. The one thing I will say is once your weights get into that heavier range, it is common for people to let their shoulder hang and then come up. But the problem with that is that all of that weight is now pulling down on just your shoulder, which is an unstable joint in itself. So having that much weight, like once you get up into 25 plus of doing those rows, it is a lot of weight on the shoulder. So just be careful with that. I'm going to show it from the front so that you can see what I mean by your shoulders just kind of dangling there. So without further ado, I'm just going to switch over so that we can see the front of that. Okay, so let's say that you're setting up now, and just so that you can see from the front. I'm still doing all of my cues. My front hand, everything is stacked. I'm going to have a slight bend there. My knee is under the hip that I'm supported on the bench. My foot is out slightly from the bench because if I'm here, I've got a tilt on my pelvis, whereas if I have it out a little bit, I'm straight across the top. If I have my weight in my hand now, and I'm pulling up and back slightly, what happens is the shoulder will drop if it's a very heavy weight, and then people will start their action from there. Whereas instead of being down here, we want the shoulders level and stable at all times to prevent any sort of injury. So pulling up from that stable position without dropping down. Okay, so if you're just starting out with this, try to get comfortable with this position without the weights, and then start with a lighter weight and work your way up as you get comfortable with this move. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.